Running,
This
let's get
conference
started.
will now be recorded.
All right, so it is the last trading day of January, Thursday, January 31st. And as always, everything that we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. So let me tell you something. Those prints at 150 yesterday in Facebook, I know personally saved everything, because if we didn't get those prints that came in and then this move would have came out of nowhere, I would have been absolutely shocked. But because those prints at 150 came in, it really, I mean, it showed it. It showed us that somebody was going in onto a very large position, expecting it to go back up above. Now, they were absolutely correct, obviously, as we're looking. So the stock jumped up all the way to pretty much 170. You're talking about almost a $20 move on this thing. I mean, absolutely phenomenal move. So we know, I mean, pretty much the pre-market has been monopolized by Facebook. Facebook's pretty much taking all the volume out there. And overall, so far, we're going to expect profit taking. But remember, the biggest thing that we're going to be looking at is to see if we continue to get new buying. And to be completely honest, it's been a decent short so far. So 168, then we have 167.50 on the bid side. But you can see as we're coming back down, there is a bunch of covering, even though we're still getting that selling that's coming in. But remember, it's up 20 bucks. Of course, we're going to get selling. So overall, right now, 166 is just not a good level. All right, we have a mix of buying that came in. We have a mix of selling that came in. Just not a great level. So really what I'm going to want to see is I want to see it kind of move away from there. Good morning, first meeting here. Am I missing audio right now? The answer is, everyone can hear me okay, right? All right, beautiful. All right, so I basically, if you're looking for a new entry to come into this thing right now, 166 just isn't it. It's just not clear. There's a mix between that buying and selling. So really, all we're going to be looking for on a new side of things is just a level that it just shows us either buying or selling, where it's just very clear cut. This is exactly what's going to happen. One thing that I'm a little bit interested in is the fact that it pushed up towards that 170, but it did not hit. So that's very interesting when you look at that, because I mean, if you're going to push it, I would think 175 would really be where I would be looking to go. So just something that I have in the back of my mind thinking about. But overall, definitely getting selling coming in, definitely getting a little bit of the buying. But that 166, like I said, just too mixed. Up above there, so far it's been nothing, saying pretty much nothing but short. But so far, we are starting, like I said, we are starting to see that buying coming in. So just going to be looking for pretty much just a clear level. Keep in mind, the range usually is $4.81. I can almost guarantee you that we are going to see a larger range than $4.81. So this is going to be the number one thing that we're looking at out there. Now, the only other thing that I really see that I kind of have a little bit of interest in is GE. Now, GE, see, and when I say a little bit of interest, it is showing some pretty good signs. So if we come over here, you can see this 10 level. We did get really, really good new buying that came in at that 10. So we're kind of pulling back from it. My biggest problem is that it's just such a slow mover. It just does not move a lot. So I usually, try to look at something that's got a bigger range, especially if you're trading shares. If a stock that moves $1 compared to a stock that moves 10 cents, obviously I'm going to go with the stock that moves $1. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it, really expecting it to pull back from that 10 level, from all that buying that we saw there. Remember, the pullback's not going to be huge because of the fact that it's not a huge mover, and they're going to be expecting it to break back over that 10 where that new buying is coming in. And like I said, that's pretty much what I got. I mean, there's not really too much else. I mean, X is another one that we do want to keep an eye on. If you guys remember, does everyone remember the number that we were looking at? What was the number that I told you guys to write down in X? So we've got to understand, X is not like Facebook. The story's a lot shorter. Well, 21, but what was the actual number? It involved, 2140. So that 2140 level, okay, remember that person came in yesterday, on the day before, right before the market closed at 2140, and they've kind of pushed up yesterday, but you can see it completely collapsed underneath. So, talking about, not a huge mover, but basically like a dollar move. So, overall, it's like I said, it's just not going to be a huge mover. It's certainly something that we want to keep our eyes on. And you can see underneath that 21 level, we're definitely getting a whole bunch of selling that's coming in. So we are going to put X on our list as well. SQ. So SQ has not changed. Okay, it's the same thing over and over again. Okay, if we look this morning coming into there, yesterday, in the aftermarket, got a little bit of prints that came in at 71.50. If you remember, at 70, excuse me. At 73, it technically has prints that it has not satisfied yet. So it wouldn't be crazy to see it go back up above the selling from that 73 level, push back up before we end up seeing it come back down. There is buying from yesterday, but everything got buying yesterday from that Fed meeting coming in. So overall, okay, it's pretty much it's exactly what we're looking for. Okay, this morning some nice selling coming into it. It does have a little bit of buying, but the selling has 100% outweighed that. But like I said, okay, when the stock gets bullied, remember what we said for longer term traders yesterday. When the stock gets bullied like SU did, okay, it is very common for it to go back up and satisfy the prints that it had first before it ends up coming back and actually making that overall move. BABA, let's talk about BABA. So this is what I do. This is what the afternoon meeting is for. I know a lot of you guys don't do the closing bell meeting, but this is why we do a closing bell meeting. All right, because if you look at BABA right now this morning, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing to talk about. So the story is exactly the same thing as yesterday. We got a little bit of selling that came in today, but that's it. All right, so overall 165. Okay, there is some selling that's still there. I would not doubt seeing this thing come back underneath 165 first before we end up seeing, that real overall move. And one thing to look at though too is that BABA at 166 and 167, we got really, really great buying that came in. So there's buying even higher up than 165. Okay, but I wouldn't be shocked to see it take a shot at below it first before we end up seeing it go back up. Okay, but overall it's up. Okay, there's buying. Do you find the market more easily satisfying ask prints right away than bid? No, it's usually bid prints are easier, to be honest with you. Okay, first of all, the market satisfying prints is typically quicker than going with the actual prints. Okay, so if you get like a huge amount of buying, typically the move down will happen a lot quicker than you get that move back up, and same, vice versa if you were to get bid prints. Okay, a lot of times you see the stock go up first before satisfying the actual move down as well. All right, guys, so Facebook is the number one thing I know I'm going to be watching. It's going to have a huge range, but just remember, the best traders in the world are going to be trading Facebook today. Let me ask you a question. Do you think reading the story in Facebook is going to be easy today? It's not. Okay, so I'm going to tell you one thing. There's going to be a ton of mixes of prints when we get into the beginning of the market. Okay, no one's going to be able to answer questions. So if you see a whole bunch of mixed prints and stuff, that's going to be for slower time to go over because it's going to take a lot of focus looking at this thing, and it's going to be too hard to. The best way that I could explain it is you are not going to be able to trade Facebook today just by asking what are the prints. Okay, you have to watch this thing closely. You have the best traders in Wall Street are going to be trading this today. So keep that in mind. Know your level of trading. There will be easier trades out there, and there's going to be real easy trades that are going to come in Facebook as well. There's going to be certain levels that's just very easy trade. But for the most part, it's going to take a lot. So keep that in mind. All right, guys. So I will see everyone in the chat room, and happy trading.